It's Portrait ASMR. And today I'm actually going to be doing some soft spoken ASMR. I usually do whispering on my channel, but I was inspired. There's a YouTuber by the name of HINDZ. That's spelled HINDZ, or Z if you rather. For some reason my soft-spoken voice, I sound nervous. Do I sound nervous? I have you know when you actually are nervous and your voice is kind of shaky? Or maybe like when you're out of breath. Anyway, that's that's what I feel like. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm leaning forward and anyway, I'm going to try to stay on topic today. I just got finished doing a quick workout, so maybe that's why I'm a bit out of breath. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit closer to me. There you go. So, I was, HINDZ. So I watched one of his videos, recently. It popped up in my feed, and I had forgotten all about that I subscribed to his channel. Well, I knew I subscribed, but, you're subscribed to so many people. Some people you sort of forget about. Anyway, HINDZ, you'll see, has quite a vibe to him, and he's not ASMR, but he was giving me ASMR vibes when he was sort of soft speaking. He's very chill sort of guy, and that's sort of the vibes I want to set for this video. And you might notice a bit of the background going on. It's well, maybe it's not what you'd quite expect, but I kind of like it. So come on down, and I'm gonna ramble off and talk about some things, and I hope you join me and just sort of relax, put me on in the background, and you don't gotta listen to everything I say, but let's sort of vibe together. And I got beside me a drink here, and I guess before I talk about that, I'll list the general scope of topics I sort of want to cover today. So I guess in the broad sense, it's what are you, me, well, mostly you, what are we supposed to do in this crazy world that we live in? What are we supposed to do? What are we, when we think about, our future, when we think about what we want, when we have tough decisions. And I wanted to touch a bit on, actually, HINDZ said it pretty good. What did he call it? He called it, I forget what the term he used, but it was like the well, I I don't know what he called it, but sort of like the future effects. That's not what he called it, but maybe I'll get back to that. But I wanted to talk about sort of the I wouldn't call it struggles, but the mental struggles, I guess, I've been having with being healthy and consumption of alcohol, and nothing too heavy. So I mean, I'm 100% fine. I don't want anyone to worry, and I don't think I'll trigger too many people. But this is just going to be sort of a non-judgmental sort of thing. I won't be telling you what to do or how you should be, but hopefully I can sort of provide perspective and comfort. So on that subject, I have a little something here. A little drink. And I guess I was feeling sort of a bit of, I don't know, it was like a bit in a rut today. Like I had woken up and done the things I wanted to do, and then it was sort of like the next step of what I wanted to do was all the way around 3 o'clock, because at 3 o'clock I know that's when I eat, and I make supper, and I have my shower, and I get prepared for work the next day. But I'm like, from now until then, it's about 11:30 right now. Like, I don't want to waste this whole middle section with nothing. I didn't feel like doing anything, But, I said, screw it. Let's have some caffeine. That's right. This is an energy drink, and, probably water's healthier, but, I mean, I don't know. Right now I feel good about taking it, and it's only 11:30th. Between 11 and 12. And so I don't think the caffeine should affect me too much at my bedtime. So HINDZ, he always drinks tea in his videos, and I do like tea, but right now we're gonna get a little wild together. So listen to this. Is that a nice sound or what? So this is a 0 sugar one. I try to stay away from sugar, but mostly it was the flavor that caught my eye. It's strawberry mango. Now, if that doesn't say summer, I don't know what does. Sweet, a little too sweet. Well, a little sweeter than I think I would like, but good. Good. All right. So let's go. So actually yesterday I was so this is sort of, the topic was, what are we to do in this crazy world? I was talking to my friend recently, and I doubt he'll see this, but if he does see this, I don't want to give away too many details of his life because I know that he wouldn't like that. So we're going to keep it very vague. But he's going through some changes in life. I think they are positive changes, but change can be tough. Change can be scary. Change is different. Change can be fun. We can get lost in sort of the rush and the swept away in change. But one thing that change makes us do is sometimes reevaluate where we are. If you're in sort of, I guess, any sort of serious relationship, a lot of the times you are so wrapped up into the everyday stuff and just sort of the magic and the beauty of it all. We don't always take the time to think what happens next, like where's our future going, and that isn't a bad thing, you know. I'm not here to demonize or anything like that on any of these topics. Actually, I think that can be a very good thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's say after that, like a big change comes in, like a breakup, or you have to move because your living situations change. Something like that can really force you to reconsider, reevaluate where your life is going. And that can have us looking at sort of the bigger picture of what's, going on in the world. And, well, that's, a change happened, and that's what my friend, he was sort of doing. I don't think he was necessarily panicking or anything, but, he wanted to just, talk it out with me. And, frankly, I kind of wanted to talk it out with him too. But he was interested in buying a house, and, if you're looking at house prices, or even in certain big cities, renting situations, it's very expensive. And, even then, like, you don't necessarily get a place that you want to get, a place of your choosing. So it's like you're paying really expensive and you're getting a place you might not love. I think most people, that can be part of the dream, is to sort of have a house, sort of a home base, a place where they can retreat to and sort of improve, work on, and a little slice that they can call their own, where they're safe and no one can touch them, and no one, can tell them what to do or how to be, a place where they can be free, a place where you can be yourself. And, faced with the very real possibility of that might not happen, what do you do with that? And why won't it happen? Because, maybe you don't have enough money, maybe you have debts, and you're looking for a bright future and you have trouble just picturing it. And, we started discussing, how can this be avoided? Why is it like this? And, I guess my answer boiled it down to, because everyone is human, right? Because we don't all share the same thoughts and beliefs, and everyone wants something different. Everyone wants a little more. there might be some very I don't know what the adjective I'm looking for, but very aware, very fulfilled people who say, no, I don't need more, which I think is great. If you can be happy with what you have, that's beautiful, and I think that's something we should all strive for, right? But if you want more as well, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I want more. If my boss offered me a raise, I wouldn't say no. I'm good where I am. Of course, I would take it, right? And let's face it, if I get that raise, chances are someone else isn't. So it's like everything I take potentially is taking away from other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting more and striving for more. But yeah, what I was saying is humans, human nature is the potential problem with this, because what is, I guess, limited in this world? Time. We only have so much time around, and the planet's sort of resources, right? People's time to do stuff and resources. We were discussing, and again, or maybe not again, this is the first time I'm saying it, but I'm no expert on this matter. There's some people I'm sure are much more equipped to talk about the intricacies of housing and the financial system, but I'm just giving sort of my broad opinion on the matter. So those are the things that are finite, resources and time. So if our government wanted to build a bunch of affordable housing for everyone, the only thing that in the perfect world would be stopping them was the time that people are willing to put in and the resources available. But it's a lot more complicated than that, right? Because there's all these zoning laws, and there's actually if you put money towards that, you take money away from something else, because we function with money, right? Even though very technically, money is infinite. We make the money, right? Again, we have regulations, I'm sure, on how much we can print and all that stuff, right? But it's just to say, like, I sort of made reference to, like a simple Amish village, right? You start off with a few families, and everyone helps build sort of a house, and then they'll help gather the resources to build a barn, and then they'll build another house, and so on. And it's like all that was needed was the time and the resources. But when you scale that up to the size of a country, it's suddenly not that simple, and there's all these different variables to account for. And again, I guess I'm saying a lot, but I guess I'm not saying much. And I guess what I'm saying is, realistically, the big picture, is we can't control anything. And in a sense, that is beautiful, because we can instead let go and enjoy what is. that's not to say you can't have goals like buying a house. But if you can just enjoy what you have at the moment, instead of looking forward, then I think that's the key. That's what you should do in this crazy time, is just ride the wave. And if you are, concerned about yourself and you maybe you have a nice living situation, but your neighbors are struggling to pay rent. If you're looking out for yourself and you're like, I can't help them, like I want a house in the future, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. That's the beauty. Everyone is going on their own journey, and everyone's journey is valid. If you feel called, if you have the opportunity to lend a hand to someone else and it feels right to you, you feel safe and secure doing it, then by all means, you should lend them a hand, help them up. I use the wave analogy a lot. Life is unpredictable and we can try to steer the wave, but ultimately life is a wave and it has its own momentum and its own direction, and we ride the wave as best we can. And if we see our fellow man or woman, stumble beside us, we can pick them up. And if we want to hold their hand and ride it with them, we can. But if we want, once we pick them up, if we want to let go and move on, we have our own journey to take, and that's okay. Maybe they'll fall again, maybe they won't. But if you can still just holding love in your heart for that person, I think is enough. If you're in a good living situation and you can walk out and wake up with a smile on your face and walk out the door, I think that is helping the world. You being okay and content is helping the world, and that, it may seem small, it may seem like nothing, but that can be powerful. You being in a good space, in a good headspace to grow and learn, and who knows what it can lead to. It can lead to you eventually, maybe you'll feel called to make change if you have causes that you believe in, that you feel called to help. By all means, you should do it. Embrace them. But also, you shouldn't feel bad if you don't want to. My friend used recycling for an example, because he said the whole, right now we're really big on sort of the environment, saving the world, electric cars, and he's like, why do I need, why should I recycle? Why do they have to tell me what to do? But that if you want to express yourself, express your individuality, express your journey by not recycling, then that's valid. You're allowed to do that. And if through doing that, through that, let's call it defiance of the norms, you feel fulfilled, who knows? Maybe, you'll be like, yeah, recycling really isn't that bad, but maybe I needed to express my defiance in order to feel okay. And I think that's the most important part, is to feel okay. You don't, if you're doing, and stopping halfway through is fine as well. If you start something and you feel good about it and suddenly it doesn't feel good anymore, there's nothing wrong with stopping and quitting. Quitting gets such a bad rap, right? Like divorce or whatever. Let's say you start something and you're making a real difference in other people and people are counting on you. If you stop loving it, like, you're allowed to change. That's what learning and growing is. If something doesn't serve you anymore, you can quit. If you can accept what is, how the world is, not everything has to be perfect. You can't change everything, but what you can change is yourself, right? You can be proud, and you can be decisive in what you want to do, what you want to, what you want to eat, what you want to wear, what mood you want to, have when you go outside. And it's okay if you're in a bad mood. It's okay if you're you're 100%. That's just riding the wave, right? You're there with what is. Your goal can be to, just to feel better. And just because you don't see a route to your goal, or to you it may seem impossible, like, owning a house in the future, there's nothing wrong with having impossible goals. Goals can be very rewarding and motivating as long as they don't stop you from living. They don't stop you from accepting where you are now and riding that wave. And even if you grow old and die and do not achieve that goal, it's only a waste if everything up to that point was for the sole purpose of fulfilling that goal. If you haven't lived between those 2 points, well then I think that is the waste. But if you've lived, you were present, you rode the wave from beginning to end and didn't complete that goal, there's nothing wrong with that. You lived, you were alive, you were here. And you'll find that if you can practice just being okay with what is, the happiness, it will eventually come. And we're not talking about this sensationalized happiness that you see in on social media and stuff. We're not talking, you don't have to be. Happiness isn't, the feeling of opening an expensive gift and having people applaud you and, being excited and ecstatic and, having a big party that you're going to. That's not happiness. Happiness is being okay. Having what you need to be alive. Loving yourself and loving others. Being okay, I think. That's what happiness is. Being okay with being okay. And I get that this can be a touchy subject, and it's always a journey, right? You'll have bad days and you'll have good days, and that's okay. That's part of the ride. We ride those bad days, and we'll get some good days along the way. And I said something, what I alluded to at the beginning was HINDZ mentioning sort of like he said sort of like every choice can have like a future, he didn't use the word consequence, but future outcome. And he was mentioning sort of like drinking having a benefit in the moment, but then having sort of the hangover tagged on at the end. And he also, compared it to like eating something healthy that might be sort of bland in the moment, but in the long term it makes us feel good. It makes us more nourished. And I think, both are acceptable experiences and fine. But it's just maybe something you should be aware of, right? And at one point for me, it's maybe taken me 30 some years to make some of these changes, but one of the ones I've been struggling on recently has been alcohol, especially in the summertime. I don't know, for me, the sun and alcohol sort of go hand in hand. Being outside, being in nature, and having some drinks. Even now, it conjures a great idea in my mind. But recently, almost every time afterwards, I've been regretful during my hangover. And don't get me wrong, I used to have horrible hangovers as a young adult. I used to be sick, throwing up, headaches. These days, my hangover is me sleeping in and, having a headache and being low energy. So I would just, take an Advil and or just take an easy day, a relaxed day. But so like that doesn't sound bad, right? But I don't know, even so, like it just feels to me like I'm wasting all that time when I could be feeling good. So that's, and like I said, that's, how I said about riding the wave and accept what is, accept the world as it is. That's me not accepting what is. I drink and I accept the good, but I don't accept the bad afterwards. So I'm sort of not in alignment with the world, and that creates suffering for me. So yeah, I've been struggling on, because I love sort of the boost and of energy and dopamine, and I wanna go out and be around people and interact with them, and it just, I feel good. But then there's like the polar opposite. I want to be alone. I want to be inside. And I don't feel good afterwards. And it's not just the don't feel good. It's that plus my sort of regret. But like I said, I'm making it out to be way worse than it is. This isn't a huge issue. I normally only drink once a week or once every 2 weeks even, and I generally don't overdo it, but it's just to say that sort of non-acceptance of what is, that's the big thing that's been plaguing me. And that's why today I was so proud to say that I chose this energy drink. I chose the energy drink over, an alcoholic beverage. And, even excuse me, even caffeine and energy drinks, they do have their sort of polar opposite, their future effects, but I don't think it's as bad as alcohol. But I guess I'm proud that I resisted the temptation today, and I don't want to quit drinking, but I think I would like to, I'm not sure, it's like I said, it's been something I've been thinking about this for months now, because I like to do it socially. Yeah, life just seems, I don't know, waking up in the morning early and just, feeling alive and feeling good and wanting to really conquer the day is a great feeling that the hangover sort of robs me of. I never used to be a morning person anyway, so I guess in the past maybe I didn't feel so robbed, seeing as I didn't want to be awake. But I believe I've said this before in other videos, but advice that I believe to be true, and even though I don't always follow it myself, is no matter what decision you take, be present in that decision 100%. There's no sense in taking a decision and then resisting it. That's insanity. If you choose to go to a party because you feel obliged to, don't resist it the whole time and be like, oh, I didn't even want to go there, and you're driving there and you're frustrated, like, I didn't even want to go. If you didn't want to go, don't go. That's okay. But if you are going and driving, accept that. Like, it's insanity to resist what you've chosen to do, right? So if I choose to drink, I should accept the hangover and not feel that guilt. I accept that this, is what happens, and just be present and ride that wave. So I have, that's what I've been working on recently, and I hope that you guys are doing well, and hopefully you could find something to take away from this conversation, and hopefully it wasn't too much of a downer. Hopefully it was kind of a vibe. And if you were kind of zoned out, and if I have grabbed your attention back, I'd like to do a little TLDR, too long, didn't read, a little recap. So yeah, if you've been vibing with me the whole time, this video it's coming to an end, and let's sort of give a recap. So the future may be unsure, but whatever happens, you are here right now. Whoever is in power, whoever is, the government, the prime minister, the leader, you exist no matter what. If you feel like you're powerless to change it, accept that and exist, because you already are existing. You already are there. Life is an unpredictable journey, and that's, part of the excitement. Ride the wave of life and don't resist it. Don't swim against the wave. Ride it. And if it's within your power to lend a hand to your fellow, humans, do that. And if you're still trying to get your balance and you're afraid to lend a hand, well, don't worry about it. You can still love someone and not directly lend them a hand. Just because you're not directly helping someone doesn't take away, your empathy or your love for them. So ride that way of life. Discard what doesn't serve you, what's bothering you. Never feel like you have to do something, have to keep doing something, or have to stop doing something. If it feels right to you, if it feels good to you, and if you cannot resist and be okay with where you are, with what you're doing, then I think that is the most important. So, I'm going to be signing off now. Just me and my strawberry mango energy drink. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Remember, you are amazing, you are free, and you are alive. You are alive. So let's get a little sun on this beautiful day. Hopefully it's not raining. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.